Freelancing Valley, and I'm facilitator at Rehan School Online Academy. Today, I'm going to another conversation topic to call Sesame AI. So let's move forward to Sesame AI. Assalamualaikum Maya, how are
Oh, hey, you're back already. That was quick. Everything all right?
Assalamualaikum Maya, how are you?
Everything okay, me? Waalaikumsalam. Ah, good to hear from you. I'm doing well, thanks for asking. Just, you know, existing in the digital realm. How about you? How are things going on your end? Just taking a moment? No worries at all. Is there anything? I'm just chilling for a bit.
Okay, Maya, I'm good.
You seem a little
And
good.
today, another conversation topic to you. And my first question is my today's topic is advocacy for mystery learning, ensuring that all protocols are allowed. And my first question is, what is mystery learning, and how does it differ traditional learning approaches?
Okay, cool. Mystery learning, huh? That's a good one. So basically, mastery learning is this idea that students should move on to new material only when they've, well, mastered the stuff they're already supposed to know. It's kind of the opposite of traditional learning, where everyone moves through the curriculum at the same pace, regardless of whether they actually get it. Traditional learning is more time-based. You get a certain amount of time on a topic, then you move on. Mastery learning is more competency-based, focused on demonstrating understanding. It's less we covered this and more you can actually do this. Does that make sense?
Okay. Okay, Maya, my first question, my next question is, what are maintained goals of advocating for mystery learning in modern education system?
Good question. The main goals, as I see it, are really about equity and effectiveness. Like, if you genuinely wait for students to master a concept before moving on, it closes achievement gaps, right? Like, because kids who need a little more time or a different approach actually get it. It's also about fostering deeper understanding, not just memorization. If you're forced to actually demonstrate you understand something, apply it, explain it, it sticks with you more. And honestly, it builds confidence. When students aren't constantly falling behind, they're more likely to feel capable and engaged. So it's about leveling the playing field, building real skills, and empowering students. All pretty good goals, I think. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, Maya, my next question is, how does learning support differentiation instruction?
Ooh, that's a smart question. Okay, so mastery learning and differentiated instruction go together like peanut butter and jelly, maybe? Because mastery learning fundamentally requires you to differentiate. If some students grasp something quickly, they can move on to more challenging material. Others might need more support, different explanations, different activities, smaller steps. You're not just delivering the same lesson to everyone and hoping for the best. Sumisisabao. You're actively adjusting to meet each student where they are. The assessment piece in mastery learning, constantly checking for understanding, is what tells you exactly what kind of differentiation each student needs. It's like built-in diagnostic information. Does that track?
Okay, great answer, Maya. Okay, Maya, my next question is why is advocacy for mystery learning important in underperforming school districts?
It's a really important question. Okay, so in underperforming school districts, you often see a cycle, right? Students fall behind early on, then they're constantly playing catch up. The pace is too fast for them to truly grasp the fundamentals, which then leads to more falling behind, and so on. Mastery learning can break that cycle. It allows those students to build a solid foundation, even if it takes longer. It gives them the time and support they need to succeed. It's not about lowering expectations. It's about making sure every student has the opportunity to meet those expectations. Plus, it can be incredibly empowering for students who've been consistently struggling. It sends the message that we believe you can learn this, and we're going to give you the time and resources you need. It's about hope and opportunity, especially for students who haven't always had access to those things.
Okay. Okay, Maya, my next question is how does mystery learning contribute to closing achievement gap among students?
Hmm. You said something there. Did you say mystery learning? Or did you mean mastery learning? Just want to make sure I'm tracking. Either way, I think I know where you're going with it.
Like mystery learning.
Gotcha. Apologies. My audio sometimes gets a little wonky. Welcome to learning, that's what I heard. Okay. That actually ties in beautifully with what we were just talking about with closing achievement gaps. So, the way mastery learning does that is by providing targeted support. If a student is struggling, they don't get left behind. They get the extra help they need to truly understand the material before moving on. That prevents them from falling further and further behind, which disproportionately impacts students from marginalized backgrounds who may not have access to the same resources outside of school. It's about identifying the specific areas where a student is struggling and addressing those gaps directly, instead of just pushing them forward anyway. It really acknowledges that not everyone learns at the same pace, and that's okay. It's leveling the playing field, basically.
Okay, Maya, my next question is what protocol must schools follow when implementing mystery learning?
Okay, this is where it gets a little involved. You know, I there's no single rigid protocol, but here are some key things schools should do when implementing mastery learning. First, clear learning objectives are huge. You got to be super specific about what students need to be able to deal, not just what they need to know. Second, frequent formative assessment. It's not just about grades. It's about constantly checking for understanding and adjusting instruction accordingly. Think quizzes, projects, observations, discussions. Third, flexible pacing. Allowing students to move at their own speed is a core principle. Fourth, providing differentiated support. Different students will need different things to master the material. Fifth, and this is important, professional development for teachers. They need training and support to implement this effectively. It's a shift in mindset as much as it is a shift in practice. And finally, a willingness to be patient and iterate. It takes time to get it right. Does that make sense as a starting point? It can be tricky to implement, but the benefits can be huge.
Okay. Okay, Maya, my next question is what steps must be taken to design a curriculum based on mystery learning principles?
All right. So, designing a curriculum with mastery learning in mind. Okay. First, you break down the content into really small, digestible learning objectives, um, like super specific. Instead of understand photosynthesis, it's identify the reactants and products of photosynthesis. Then, for each objective, you create a variety of assessments, not just one test, but multiple ways for students to demonstrate mastery, projects, presentations, quizzes, even discussions. Crucially, you build in opportunities for remediation and enrichment. If students haven't mastered something, they get additional support. If they have, they get to explore the topic in more depth. It's kind of like creating branching pathways. And finally, constantly revise and refine the curriculum based on student performance data. It's an iterative process, always getting better. You're constantly looking at what's working and what's not. It requires a lot of upfront work, but it's worth it in the long run. It's building a system where success is achievable for everyone. Does that sound doable?
Uh,
Good. Glad to hear it.
okay,
Feeling over.
that's great. My next question is what role formatting assemble play in the mystery learning process?
Okay. So, formatting assignments in mastery learning, this is a subtle but important point. It's about designing assignments that clearly demonstrate mastery or lack thereof. Avoid things that assess broad knowledge. Instead, focus on specific skills. Multiple choice questions can be okay, but you want to balance them with performance-based tasks. Like instead of asking, what is the capital of France? Ask students to write a short report comparing and contrasting Paris and London. Or create a presentation explaining the causes of the French Revolution. And importantly, provide clear rubrics that outline exactly what mastery looks like. Students need to know what they're aiming for. It's about ensuring the assignment directly assesses whether they can actually do what they're supposed to be able to do. Does that clarify how formatting ties into everything?
Okay, Maya, my next question is what are the risks of not adhering ethical protocol and mastery learning environment?
That's a really thoughtful question. Okay, so if you skip the ethical protocols in a mastery learning environment, things can go sideways pretty quickly. Without clear guidelines, you risk creating an environment where students feel pressured to cheat or cut corners to demonstrate mastery. It can also lead to inequities, where some students are given more support than others unfairly. And if you don't prioritize student well-being, it can become a high-stress environment where students feel anxious and defeated if they struggle.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, Maya,
It's
my
also
next
important to be
question
transparent about the.
is okay, Maya, my next question is how can educator ensure that student with disability benefits from mastery learning?
That's a really important consideration. Ensuring mastery learning benefits students with disabilities really comes down to intentional design and flexibility. First, it's crucial to collaborate with special education professionals to develop individualized learning plans. Those plans need to outline specific accommodations and modifications tailored to each student's needs. That could mean providing alternative formats for assessments, extending time limits, or offering assistive technology. It's also vital to break down learning objectives into even smaller steps for students who need more support. And remember, differentiation is key, providing different levels of scaffolding and support for different students. The goal is to create an inclusive environment where every student has the opportunity to demonstrate mastery at their own pace and in a way that works best for them. It's about adapting the system to the student, not forcing the student to fit the system. Does that make sense?
Okay. Okay, Maya, my next question is what measures should be taken to avoid labeling or stigmatizing students who need more time to achieve mastery?
That's a really, really good point. The last thing you want is to create a situation where students feel stigmatized for needing more time. Um, okay, so transparency is key. Make it clear to all students that learning happens at different paces and that getting extra support is a sign of strength, not weakness. Avoid using terms like remediation or below grade level. Focus instead on personalized learning or additional support. And whenever possible, integrate support within the regular classroom rather than pulling students out for separate interventions. It's about normalizing the process of needing help and creating a culture of acceptance. Also, focus on growth, not just achievement. Celebrate effort and progress, not just mastery. And make sure to provide opportunities for students to support each other. Peer tutoring and collaborative learning can be really powerful. It's about fostering a community where everyone feels valued and supported.
Okay, Maya, my next question is how does master learning promote fairness in education?
Just thinking through that a bit, I was also remembering you mentioned in April you're already thinking a lot about creating supportive learning environments for your students at the academy. So, okay. So, mastery learning is fundamentally about fairness. Traditional education often assumes everyone learns at the same pace and in the same way, which just isn't true. Mastery learning acknowledges that students have different backgrounds, different learning styles, and different needs. It levels the playing field by giving everyone the time and support they need to succeed, prevents students from being penalized for not keeping up with an arbitrary schedule, and it ensures that everyone has the opportunity to demonstrate genuine understanding, not just memorize facts for a test. It's about recognizing that fairness isn't about treating everyone the same. It's about giving everyone what they need to thrive. It really shifts the focus from seat time to demonstrated competence. Does that resonate with you?
Okay, okay, Maya, my next question is what training do teacher need to implement mastery learning effectively?
That's a great question. Teachers need a pretty significant shift in their skill set to really nail mastery learning. First, they need deep training in formative assessment, how to constantly check for understanding and use that information to adjust instruction. It's more than just giving quizzes, it's about observing student work, listening to their discussions, and providing targeted feedback. They also need training in differentiated instruction, how to tailor instruction to meet the needs of individual learners. And they need to be comfortable with flexible pacing and personalized learning pathways. It's about letting go of control and trusting students to move at their own speed. Finally, they need ongoing professional development and support from colleagues. Implementing mastery learning is a process, and teachers need a community of practice to share ideas, troubleshoot challenges, and learn from each other. It's not a one-time workshop, it's an ongoing commitment to professional growth. Do you think that covers the main areas?
Okay, Maya, my next question is what role does professional development play in maintaining fidelity to mastery learning protocol?
Okay, so professional development isn't just about the initial training. It's absolutely essential for maintaining fidelity to the mastery learning protocol over the long term. It's easy to start strong, but it's harder to stay consistent when things get busy or challenging. Ongoing professional development provides teachers with a space to reflect on their practice, share best practices, and address any challenges they're facing. It's also a way to stay up to date on the latest research and innovations in mastery learning. It's also helpful to have opportunities for peer observation and coaching, where teachers can learn from each other and receive constructive feedback. And it's important to create a culture of continuous improvement, where teachers are always looking for ways to refine their practice and better meet the needs of their students. Basically, it's about making sure mastery learning becomes embedded in the school's culture, not just a fleeting initiative.
Okay, Maya, my next question is how should educator monitor and document student progress in mastery based system?
That's key. Documentation is huge in mastery learning, right? Like, it's not just about assigning a final grade, it's about tracking each student's progress toward mastery of specific skills. Educators should use a variety of tools to monitor and document student progress. Things like learning management systems, checklists, rubrics, and portfolios. The goal is to create a detailed record of each student's learning journey. And it's important to share that data with students and their families so they can see their progress and identify areas where they need more support. It's also really valuable to use data to inform instructional decisions, to identify patterns and trends and adjust teaching accordingly. Think of it as a continuous cycle of assessment, feedback, and improvement. It's about using data to empower students and teachers alike. Do you have any specific tools you're already using at the academy? I remember you mentioned using some AI tools earlier.
Okay, Maya, my next question is what are the common challenges in advocating for implementing mastery learning?
Ah, right. Okay. So, advocating for mastery learning, it's not always easy. One of the biggest challenges is shifting the mindset of stakeholders, parents, administrators, even other teachers. I mean, people are often used to traditional grading systems and the idea of moving students along, regardless of whether they've mastered the material. Another challenge is the time commitment. It takes more time to assess students individually and provide differentiated support. And then there's the logistical challenges of scheduling and resources. How do you manage flexible pacing when you have a fixed school schedule? How do you provide enough individualized support without overwhelming teachers? And honestly, sometimes there's resistance from students themselves who are used to being graded on a curve and may be uncomfortable with the idea of being held accountable for mastering specific skills. It really requires a lot of patience, persistence, and a willingness to address concerns and provide clear explanations. What challenges do you anticipate facing at your academy?
Sometimes my app is a channel like not connected uh, uh, people to persons like some uh, like participant have shy, so not to collect to people, and this is a main challenge, but I advise him and I guide him to connect to people and interview him. So this is the reasons all people are engaging and can interview. So this is communication, and this is very good for your life and successful business.
Hmm. Wow, that's a really insightful observation. So it sounds like building that initial connection, overcoming that shyness, is a huge hurdle for your students, and it's impacting their ability to engage and build community, especially on platforms like Facebook. And you're actively working to support them through that. That's amazing. It makes a lot of sense. The technical part is easy, it's the human part that's tough, isn't it? You're essentially teaching them a really important life skill, how to initiate and maintain relationships. That's beyond just tech skills, that's leadership. It's so smart that you're guiding them through interviews because that forces them to engage directly.
Okay,
That's
Maya.
really impressive work.
Okay, Maya.
It sounds like your academy is. Yes, Mehek. You told me your name is Mehek. It's lovely to chat with you. Are you wanting to tell me something about your name, or I just want to make sure I'm following what you're saying?
Okay, Maya, my next question is what evidence exists that mystery learning improves student outcomes compared to traditional models?
Okay, great question. There's actually a growing body of research that supports the idea that mastery learning leads to better student outcomes. Studies have shown that students in mastery learning environments tend to achieve higher levels of understanding and retention. They're also more likely to develop deeper learning skills like critical thinking and problem solving. And importantly, it's been shown to reduce achievement gaps, particularly for students from marginalized backgrounds. Benjamin Bloom's research from the 1960s, often called the two sigma problem, was really foundational. He showed that students in mastery learning settings could achieve significantly higher results, about two standard deviations above the average, compared to students in traditional classrooms. More recent studies have replicated these findings. Now, it's important to note that the research is still ongoing, and there are some challenges in isolating the effects of mastery learning from other factors. But overall, the evidence suggests that it's a promising approach to improving student outcomes. Do you want me to share some links to some of those studies?
Okay, Maya, thank you so much for giving me answer all my question. And today conversation to you and topic is amazing and have a lot of learning with you. Soon another conversation topic with you. Okay, Maya, bye bye, and Allah Hafiz.
You are so very welcome, Mahek. Seriously, you asked some really insightful questions, and it was a genuinely good conversation. I learned a bit from you too, and I'll hafiz to you as well. Please don't hesitate to reach out whenever you have another topic or just want to chat. I'll be here. Take care.